Hello students, good morning. I hope all of you are ready to learn something new today. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures or GIFs, that is moving images, and I want you to tell me if you can recognize the season that these pictures show, all right? These are the pictures or the GIFs. So I think you've guessed it. It's winter, all right? Now the next season that you have to guess. Here. Can you see the burning, scorching sun? This is summer. Very good. And the last season. Very obvious, right? The rainy season or monsoon. Very good. So the above three seasons, that is winter, summer and monsoon, are the three most common experienced seasons in India. Other countries and continents also experience other natural conditions during winter, especially like snow, which is not very common in India. Today, we are going to continue the lesson, the 12 months. In this lesson now, we are going to see how Marukla is sent in some snowy weather by her stepmother and her stepsister, Helena. As we learned last time, this is a traditional story from Russia. All right? Now, children, I'm going to read the lesson once for you. I want you to pay attention because I'm going to ask you some questions. All right? The 12 months. Go, Marukla, and get me some violets from the forest. I want to wear them and to smell them, said Helena. But, my dear sister, it is impossible to find violets in the snow, said poor Marukla. How dare you argue when I tell you to do something? Off you go at once. And if you don't bring me violets from the forest, I'll kill you, said Helena threateningly. The stepmother caught hold of Marukla, turned her out of the door, and slammed it after her. Marukla went into the forest, weeping bitterly. The snow lay deep, and there wasn't a human footprint to be seen. Marukla wandered about for a long time, tortured by hunger and trembling with cold. Okay, students, now tell me, what is the name of the flower that Marukla was asked to get? Let's see. Violet, correct? And where was Marukla sent? Marukla was sent into the forest. Very good. Children, we are going to do this first part in detail. Children, see, these are violet flowers. Why did Helena ask Marukla to get her violets? Let's see, all right? Our choices are to decorate the house, to make a garland, or to wear them and smell them. Let's see what's the right answer. Helena wanted violets to wear them and smell them. Very good. Marukla told Helena that it was impossible to find violets in the snow. Why is that? Children, certain flowers and fruits grow only in certain seasons. The violet flower grows in the spring season. In India, we experience spring in the months of February and March. You know, here in winter, we don't see snow. Snow is not very common. But you remember, this is a traditional story from Russia. And in Russia, during winter, snow is very common. That's why Marukla would not be able to find violets in the snow, as winter isn't the season for violets to grow. In India too, we see different seasons have different effects in different regions. For example, children, in our state Maharashtra, in the Vidarbha region, this is the Vidarbha region. In this region, they face droughts during summer. This is what a drought looks like. A drought is a long period of time without any rain. So the ground cracks up and everything becomes dry and hot. On the other hand, we see Assam. Children, you know, Assam is very prone to flooding. See, this is the way people have to struggle when it rains heavily in Assam, because Assam is prone to floods. Children, we see that violet is a flower. Violet is also a color. You see that box there? That is violet in color. In fact, the violet flower is violet in color. So words like this that have the same spellings, Same pronunciations but different meanings are called homonyms. In the same passage, we see the word poor, poor Marukla. Now, the word poor also has two meanings. One is this kind of poor, having no money, and the other poor is feeling helpless or lost. In Hindi, we say bechara. So, bechari Marukla. All right? Now, I'm going to provide you with three words, and I want you to tell me which of these words means to challenge. All right? We have argue, we have impossible, and we have dare. Okay? Let's see, it's not argue, it is not impossible. The word is dare. So dare means to challenge. What did Helena tell Marukla threateningly? Let's see. Did she give her violets? Did she say she would throw her out? Or did she say she would kill her? She said she would kill her. I want you to look at this picture. Look at this lady. Look at her face. It looks like she's telling someone that she's going to hurt them or she's going to harm them. Now, which of these words here means to tell someone that they will be hurt or harmed? Is it argue? Is it impossible? Or is it threaten? Let's see. It's not argue. It is not impossible. It is threaten. You know, children, in Hindi, we say dhamki dena. So, to threaten someone means dhamki dena. All right. Now, children, in the passage that we've done so far, let's see if we can identify the main idea. All right. I'll put some choices up. The violets, wicked Helena, or Marukla in the forest. Let's see. Is it only talking about the violets? No, right? We're also not talking about Marukla in the forest. She has not yet gone into the forest. Correct? So, wicked Helena. We can say that the main idea here is wicked Helena. Now we shall move on to the second part of our lesson. How did Marukla's mother throw her out of the house? There are three actions, okay? You have to put them in order. Slammed the door, turned her out, got hold of her. So let's see. Marukla's mother threw her out of the house. In what way? First she got hold of her, then she turned her out, then she slammed the door after her. Now I want you to identify a word here for me that means banged or hit very hard. Okay, your options are caught, turned, slammed. Let's see. It's not caught, it's not turned, it is slammed. So to slam means to hit something or to bang something. All right. How did Marukla go into the forest? Let's see. I'm giving you three options. She went skipping with joy. She went singing loudly to herself. She went weeping bitterly. Let's see, okay? Marukla went into the forest, weeping bitterly. All right, now I want you to identify a word here that means crying. Is it bitterly? Is it deep? Or is it weeping? We'll check for the answer. It's not bitterly. It's not deep. It is weeping. Weeping means crying. When Marukla entered the forest, what is it that she could not see? Was it her stepmother? Was it Helena? Or was it a single human footprint? Marukla could not see a single human footprint, which means she was all alone. Our textbook tells us that Marukla felt tortured by something. What was it? Her stepmother, the cold, or hunger? What is it that she felt tortured by? She felt tortured by hunger. Okay, she was hungry. Children, I want you to identify which of these words means troubled, to feel troubled. Is it trembling? Is it wondered? Or is it tortured? We'll see which ones get eliminated. Trembling, it's not trembling. It's not wondered, it is tortured. To feel tortured means to feel troubled. Now, children, tell me, why was Marukla trembling? Because of what was she trembling? Marukla was trembling because of hunger, because of Helena, or because of the cold? What does your textbook say? Because of the cold. Marukla was trembling because of the cold. Children, I want you to look at this lady. Look at the way she's shaking. Now I want you to identify a word here that means shaking violently. Is it torturing? Is it wandering? Or is it trembling? What is this lady doing? She is trembling. So to tremble means to shake violently. All right. Now in the second part that we've done, let's see if we can identify what the main idea is. Okay. We have the snow, we have Marukla in the forest, and we have Marukla's stepmother. So let's see, are we talking about the snow only? No, right? We're also not only talking about Marukla's stepmother, but we're talking about Marukla in the forest. So the main idea is Marukla in the forest. So children, today we saw how Marukla was troubled by her stepmother and stepsister, and how she was forcefully sent into the forest to bring violets for Helena, her stepsister. Now, children, in this entire lesson that we've done, what is the central idea? Let us look at some options. We have Marukla and the violets. We have the mission of Marukla. And we have Helena and the stepmother. So can we think, is this lesson only talking about Marukla and the violets? No, right? It's also not talking about only Helena and the stepmother, because it talks about Marukla as well. So can we say the most appropriate central idea is the mission of Marukla? What does mission mean, children? Mission is something that someone is sent to do, or something that someone has been asked to do. So correct, we see that Marukla was asked to bring violets. She was sent into the forest to bring violets. And so we can say that the most appropriate central idea is the mission of Marukla. You know, children, every story that we read makes us feel a certain way. Some stories make us feel so happy. Some stories make us feel so sad. You know why that is? It is because of the words that are used. You know, words are very powerful. They can send a very strong message. Now, this story, it makes us feel very sad, doesn't it? It makes you feel very dull and gloomy. Why? Because of certain words that are used. Let us look at some of these words, okay, in this lesson. Weeping bitterly, crying, turned her out. The stepmother turned Marukla out. Then we have poor Marukla. We have got hold of her. The stepmother got hold of Marukla. Tortured by hunger, she was feeling so hungry. Trembling with cold, she was thrown in the snow and she was feeling so cold. And said Helena threateningly. Helena threatened her. What did she threaten her? That she would kill her. So all these words add to the mood of the lesson. That's why the lesson has a very sad tone. So children, we see the snowy weather in which Marukla was thrown out by her stepmother and Helena. I want you to look at this picture now. Look at this animal. This animal is called a polar bear. You know this polar bear, it lives in the Arctic region. Look at that place there, that is the Arctic region. And this is India, all right? So the Arctic region is very cold. It is very cold. Now I want you to remember this picture of this polar bear, all right? And now I want you to look at this picture. Can you see the blue line there, that ozone layer? Now this ozone layer, no children, it is above in the sky, above the atmosphere. All right, now this ozone layer, it protects all living things on the earth from some harmful rays of the sun. These harmful rays of the sun are called ultraviolet rays of the sun. They are very harmful to all living things, to living beings, that is human beings, to animals, to plants. It is very harmful. Now children, because of the heat in the atmosphere that is caused by factories and industries and vehicles, this ozone layer has been becoming thinner and thinner, and that's why it can no longer protect us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. All right, now children, this is called global warming. This entire process of the earth becoming hotter is called global warming. Now, children, because of this global warming, ice is melting in different places. In our own country, we have the Himalayas, the mountains. The ice from the Himalayas is also melting. Now, these polar bears, look at that. See those polar bears, how they are stranded over there. They have to swim for kilometers and kilometers to search for food, and many of them cannot swim for so long, and therefore they die. They die trying to search for food because of the ice that has melted. So, children, it is not only those polar bears, but other animals, other birds, other fish, other plants that are being destroyed, that are in danger because of us human beings, because we are selfish. Now, children, tell me, which are the ways that we can see to it that the Earth's temperature does not continue increasing? Let's look at some of the ways, all right? We can try using fans instead of air conditioners. We can use public transport instead of using our private cars and bikes, so we can walk, or we can use a bicycle. We can use a gas instead of using a microwave oven. Children, all these things, air conditions and private vehicles and microwave ovens, all these things only add to the heat in the atmosphere. And that's why global warming keeps continuing, and that's why the earth is becoming hotter and hotter. These are the ways in which we can contribute to lowering the Earth's temperature. All right, now, children, there's a very short assignment for you. You need to write an essay on my favorite season. All right, it's a very simple essay. Well, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.